You're watching the Bronx Journal, the BronxNet television edition of the multilingual community newspaper, published by the students and faculty of the Journalism, Communication, and Theater Department at Lehman College. In print and on television, the Bronx Journal covers the issues concerning the people of the Bronx. Do you want to know what's going on in the Bronx? Are you interested in Bronx politics, sports, and entertainment? Are you interested in Bronx personalities? Do you want to keep up with the latest business or cultural trends? In the Bronx Journal, we have the answers. Now here's your host, the Bronx Journal's editor-in-chief, Professor Miguel Perez.
So what happens to our school dropouts? Are they doomed to hard labor and low-paying jobs? Well, not necessarily. Here in the Bronx, there's a unique school designed for them to drop back on the road that leads to a high school diploma and a college education. It's called CUNY Prep. It's over on White Plains Road, and it's becoming a model for the rest of the country. In the new edition of the Bronx Journal, CUNY Prep is the cover story. And with us today, we have three CUNY Prep teachers, France Barbier, Todd Harold, and Cindy Spector. Also with us is one of their students, Rachel Gibbons. Welcome to the program. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you for having us.
I find it so, I edited the story in the Bronx Journal about CUNY Prep. We decided to make it the cover story because we are so excited about the work that you guys are doing, and we want the rest of the Bronx to know. Could you, Mr. Harold, tell us a little bit about the history? How did it start? What does this school do?
Sure. Well, obviously the Bronx has a severe problem with out-of-school youth, as we've termed our students. Our school was founded as part of the Department of Youth and Community Development in 2003. Recently we shifted from that grant to another of the mayor's New York City Economic Development Corporation, who has been great with our recent funding. And this is going into our fourth year. We've been very successful. There have been bumps along the way, but I think we're really getting good at this, and it's much needed program, not only in the Bronx, but throughout the city and the country.
Mr. Barbier, successful. Define successful. How is it being very successful? What are you guys doing?
Well, I must say that, first of all, without CUNY Prep, these students, where would they be? I mean, bottom line is, many of our students have decided themselves to leave school. The New York City school system has failed them. They are in chaotic classrooms. Teachers don't have any control of the students, and they just can't learn. So unlike what most people think, that dropouts are students who are, they're unruly, they're disrespectful. No, that's the total opposite of CUNY Prep. At CUNY Prep, we've noticed that our students left school purposely because they wanted a better educational system for themselves. They wanted support, they wanted to learn, and that's what we give them.
But when we talk about success, we're talking about a waiting list of 100 students. I mean, they actually want to get back into school, these people.
Absolutely, yes. And as a matter of fact, Rachel Gibbons is perfect, perfect example of that. They do want to get back to school. They want to be successful. They want a life for themselves, basically.
Ms. Spector, strictness is a little strict. You're in the story, and you talk about how you're very strict about attendance, for example, as opposed to other schools.
Yes, very strict about attendance, very strict about behavior. We set a very high standard, a high bar, and the students rise to the occasion.
And the idea is to get them to pass the GED exam and to go on to college.
Yes, the GED is a very small, we call it bump in the road that they need to overcome. The ultimate goal is college, and all the students know and recognize and desire that.
And I understand that you actually follow up with them even after they graduate from CUNY Prep. You help them you advise them when they're still in college.
Yes, we do. Our part of our funding and part of our goal always has been to follow a student for at least up to a year after they've enrolled in college. So, as Ms. Spector said, taking the GED is the step that gets them to college. College success is our program. When they come in, we say, if you're not planning on going to college and being successful, this is not the program for you.
So, Rachel, tell us your story. Where were you at? Did you drop out? And what were you doing? And why did you decide to come back to school?
Well, I had dropped out of school. I was out of school for a year. And I realized I'm getting older and I need something. I do not want to work at McDonald's for the rest of my life.
Is that what you were doing? You were working?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I did not want to work at McDonald's for the rest of my life. So I decided GED is the best option. Little to no credits. I realized high school diploma wasn't working, so I decided to come to CUNY Prep and found the greatest teachers in the world and the best
You're
curriculum.
not saying that just because they're
No, not even. I really like my teachers. I love my math teacher. I love my social justice teacher. And I love my criminal justice teacher. They're great.
Okay, so tell me about the school. What happens there? How is it different than your regular high school?
It's different in the sense that, well, the classes are longer, which is at first was...
Really?
Yeah, the classes are an hour and 45 minutes instead of 45 minutes. What can I say? The curriculum, it's different. It's more engaged. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Talk about interesting. I understand you have, Mr. Barbier, you have clubs that they join, writing clubs, photography clubs. Tell me about that.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm the faculty coordinator for the digital photography class at CUNY Prep. We also have a photography class that uses 35mm film. We have, we have a dance class. We have a class called Iron Chef where the kids cook. We have a fashion, class where students are actually designing their own clothes, literally designing their own clothes with, needle and thread, and they're modeling their clothes at the end of the cycle fashion show. Mm-hmm. So we're doing some wonderful things at CUNY Prep.
Inspector, what do you teach?
I teach a variety of classes. I teach a social justice class, which is their humanities requirement. I teach a financial literacy class, which is all the basics of financial management, from checking accounts to savings accounts, etc. And then my club is the Entrepreneur Club, and students sell stock to raise money to fund the school store and run the school store, and then at the end of the cycle, there's a return on their investment, and they can double, triple their money.
Mm-hmm. How many students are we talking about?
We're talking about 200 at any given time. Our numbers vary from 150 to 200, but we serve over 300 students a year. We have revolving cycles where we have 4 cycles a year. And at the end of a cycle, a student is eligible to take the GED and go on to college. So we've served more like 300, 400 students a year in any given year.
And I understand that there's a day course and night courses for different age groups.
Yes, CUNY Prep at night is now, and Mr. Barbier is a teacher in both our day and evening program. He's a brave man. CUNY Prep at night was founded about in March of last year, and that's for students who are over 18 who want to get their GED and get back into college. We hold them by the same standards as our night students. They go to school intensively Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., and a lot of them work, but it's also showing success.
Mm-hmm. So, are you excited? Is this a fun job for you guys? Is that, do you, as opposed to teaching in a regular high school?
I must say that I'm very excited to teach at CUNY Prep. Prior to coming to CUNY Prep, I never in my life envisioned teaching high school age students, never. When I graduated from Hunter College with my degree in English and elementary education, I immediately started teaching in an elementary school, and then I also taught at middle schools. And one day I just happened to, go job hunting online, saw CUNY Prep, and decided that let me give it a shot, and it's been my best and most successful.
It's rewarding.
Absolutely, my most rewarding educational experience ever.
Inspector, same for you?
It is. I enjoy the class sizes. I enjoy the level of engagement between the students and the instructors. And we're a very tight-knit school also. But teachers, administrators.
I imagine you feel like you're really making a difference. Here's a student who had really gone off the wrong way, a potential loser turning into a winner right before your eyes.
Exactly. Well, they actually aren't. There's the potential for them to be losers, but they really, I agree with what Mr. Barbier said, that the schools is what started them down that path initially.
It's been a real pleasure having you here. We wish you good luck. We're very excited about the work that you're doing, and we're going to have you back. Once we read, everybody in the Bronx is going to be reading this article, and they're going to be calling you. I'm sure that you're going to have a lot more stuff. That waiting list is going to grow by several hundred. Thank you for being on the program.
Thank you for having us.
At the Bronx Journal, the newspaper, and this television program, we want to hear from you. And if you have an idea for a story you think we should be writing about, or if you have an issue that you feel very strongly about, write us a letter to the editor. Here's where to send it.